to start my chemo. But this morning I wanted to talk about something different. Well, all praise to the Most High. He's always by my side. I read His word, stay prayed up. His chosen child walking through the secret garden, praising His name. And I would never sell my soul for the fortune of fame. So you can sub, you can like, don't forget to share. But I'm staying true to me because I know these days that it's rare. I'm a mom and a wife, 7 kids, up all night. It ain't easy being creative in a big family life, but let's go. Good morning, howdy. Good morning. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing excellent, to be honest. I just really hope all things good going your way. Thank you, howdy. Today, y'all, I wanted to really send a shout out to Jarrett Talks. I couldn't even comment on his video that he posted yesterday evening, but I was in there and he brought me to tears, and I really wanted to talk about what he was talking about. Well, okay. My mom is driving, so if my mom want to hop in and give her input or whatever, it's welcomed because she was there. So yesterday, Jarrett Talks did a video where he was talking about how he was diagnosed with meningitis years ago, and how he struggled with telling people about his platform and everything. He didn't want anybody to, discourage him, or you know how that go. And he didn't want to really talk about certain things with his mom or with his family. And I totally get it. I totally get it. So I wanted to come on and tell my meningitis story, because a lot of people do not talk about meningitis. A lot of people don't know about meningitis. And for him to have gone through that and survived, for him to have for him to have a channel where, first of all, his channel is Jarrett Talks. That alone says a lot. That alone says a lot. A lot of people do not realize that when you get diagnosed with meningitis, it affects your brain, it affects your motor skills, it affects a lot. So I was diagnosed with meningitis when I was 17 years old. And it was pretty rough. But what got me was I was in high school, and it was right before graduation when I was diagnosed. We was actually having practices for the graduation. And like I said, if my mom want to jump in, she could jump in at any time. What people didn't realize was when I started getting really, really bad headaches, and I can't imagine a baby going through this. I can't imagine, because when you're older, you can tell somebody, like, my head is hurting really bad, my neck is stiff, my neck is hurting. But when you're a baby, you can't voice that. So one night it got really bad. I had actually been dealing with this bad headache for days, and I just didn't tell anybody. I just kept pushing through, because I was thinking to myself, graduation is coming up. This is my senior year. I feel like I'm getting sick, but I just didn't want to say nothing. I just kept it under wraps. It had gotten to the point where I kept forgetting things, and my speech started to suffer. Like a slur. And I started having to think hard about what I wanted to say before I said it. And the headaches got worse and worse. And one night I could barely get to my parents' room, and I remember just saying, like, my head is hurting, and the only thing that helped it was pressure. So I was like in my room putting pillows on my head, and I was just trying to squeeze my head. And I remember my parents coming in my room, and they was like, what's going on? I said, my head is hurting so bad and nothing will stop it. So So, with that being said, I was rushed to the hospital, and they had to do what they call a spinal tap. And the doctors came in, and I could tell by the way they stepped to the side to talk to my mom that it wasn't good. Like I said, I was 17, so I was more observant and more. I had the ability to kind of read the room, so to say. Um, So they pulled my mom to the side, and they were explaining to her what was going on, and they were saying that they had to keep me. They had to admit me in the hospital. And I overheard them say meningitis. I had never heard that word before. I didn't know what it was, where it started. Well, we found out later on how I got it. I was working in the daycare at the time, and when I was cleaning kids' noses and taking care of the kids, they feel like maybe one of the kids had it, and the parent just kept sending them to school anyway, and then that's how I got into contact with it. So when Jarrett Talks was telling his story about how he had meningitis and how he was so grateful to have survived meningitis, I can really relate. I can relate to his story, because when you survive something like that, it does something to you. I had to learn how to do a lot of things all over again, and I had to actually use my grandmother's wheelchair for some time. I went to my graduation, but it's like everybody was scared to get close to me. But this was after I had received treatment, after I was getting better, but people were still acting like I was contaminated or something like that. And
Couldn't get your hair cut.
yeah, couldn't, my hair, that was a thing. Couldn't, everything hurt. Everything hurts when you have meningitis. Moving hurts, walking hurts. I had to learn how to focus again. I don't even know how to explain it, but put it like this: if I wanted to drink from a cup, I had to learn how to kind of estimate how close the cup was to my mouth. Or if I wanted to eat a sandwich, I had to kind of guide it, because my cognitive, something was off. So still to this day, I have some issues where when I'm trying to voice how I feel or something, I get so frustrated, because I know in the back of my head that I'm a meningitis survivor, but everybody don't know that. So when I'm talking or when I'm trying to get a point across, it gets frustrating sometimes, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I know 9 times out of 10 probably gonna say the wrong thing or say something that somebody else don't want to hear at the time. But being a meningitis survivor, it messes with everything. They literally had me lay on the table in a fetal position, and they went into my spine with a long needle, and they pulled out some of my fluid in my spine. And the lady who was in there, she was so nice, because I told her, I said, I want to see it. And if the other lady that was in there was like, no baby, you don't want to see this, the other nurse asked me, she said, are you sure you want to see? And I said, yes, I want. I'm just that type of person. Yes, I want to see. So she showed me the valve of the spinal fluid, and she said, we're going to test this. Good morning, Boss Lady Denise. Good morning, Sandra D. I can't read the last name. Okay. So when I was recovering from meningitis, I actually had to take my time and learn everything all over again. But when Jarrett Talks was saying that he's just happy alone in the, and he had it long time ago, and he was saying how certain things he just don't feel comfortable with talking with his family about. And I get it. I get it, because you don't want to seem like, I don't know, you don't want to seem like you're trying to get a pity party or something like that, but sometimes you want to voice like how you feel going through something like that. Or sometimes you want to tell people like, hey, check out my channel, and they may say, well, you shouldn't do that because of this, that, or the other. I get it. I get it. But when those doctors told my mom that I had meningitis, I saw her crying in the corner. You remember that? You was by the door, and I saw her crying, and I was like, whatever meningitis is, it must be bad. It must be bad, because my mom was standing in the corner crying, and my dad, he started just praying. Like, I just remember my dad saying, not my child, Lord, not my child. And he was asking that God take it away. And he started holding on to my head while he was praying. I remember that, because I was saying, pressure helps, pressure helps. So my dad started holding both of his hands on my head and praying. And it was like a roller coaster ride. And then when I started going through my treatment and going through my therapies, I started getting better and better every day. And my mom went up to the school. Can I tell this part? My mom went up to the school because I was a senior in high school, and she was like, I gotta go up there to see if you need anything, if you need any extra classes, any extra homework or something, because this is your last year. I could still do certain things, and I still remembered certain things. So my mom was trying to help to make sure I could still graduate. And when she got up there, she came home and she said, I'm sitting up here thinking I need to do something or bring her home some homework or something. And the teachers was like, what you said, that I had like a perfect grade, and I even came on senior skip day, so I didn't have any extras that needed to be done. And Jarrett Talks, it's near and dear to me to know that you are also a meningitis survivor. And the fact that you have a channel called Jarrett Talks, that means a lot to me, because a lot of people don't understand that having meningitis affects your speech. It affects the way you move. You can't hardly move freely. Oh, I must be early because Wellness with Frugal Mama about to come on. Well, or she just came on one. But anyway, so I'm not going to stay on long because I'm finna hop over to Wellness with Frugal Mama. But I just wanted to let you guys know that yes, I am a meningitis survivor. I was diagnosed with meningitis when I was 17 years old, and I went through a lot trying to regain my strength. But when you're a meningitis survivor, you also notice how people treat you. People look at you differently. People get frustrated with you when you're trying to talk and you're trying to get out whatever you want to say. I don't know how to explain it. Like you just want to be able to say the right thing, but you have to think twice before you say it. Hey, Shaky baby. I ain't heard from you in a minute, but I've been seeing you over there doing those neck cracks. He be over there exercising like a military man. I said, are you in the Marines or something? He was like, no. But yeah, I just wanted to let Jarrett Talks know that I am also a meningitis survivor, and I completely understand. I do not have the seizures. They caught it right before I started to have seizures, because um, by me losing my speech and stuff, I was starting to get to that stage of starting to have seizures, but it didn't get that far because they were able to get me the medication I needed before that point. But I do have a son that has seizures. He has to take medication every day at the same time. So I feel you, I see you, and you have my full support. And that's for Jarrett Talks. I just wanted to share my story and let everybody know that I'm also a meningitis survivor. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. And now I'm fighting leukemia. So with that being said, I'm finna run on over to go look at Wellness with Frugal Mama, because it must be 7, because I just saw her notification come up. I'm gonna go support this sister, and hopefully I can comment. Thank you. I'm a warrior. Thank you. I try my best. I try my best. And it's crazy because I've always been like the smaller one, the skinny, little frail girl, be outside climbing fences and stuff, but I always have been the sickling, the sick one. And I try my best every day, Shaky. I try my best. And I will try to keep y'all informed with what's going on today. I get my chemo today. Fludarabine, that's the name of it. I get it through IV, and I will keep you guys posted. Let me go check out Wellness with Frugal Mama, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Adios. Gracias por ver. Thanks for watching.